Hello there, and welcome to another feature preview for Thrawn's Revenge Imperial Civil War, as well as Fall of the Republic, which is what we're going to be checking it out in. So yesterday we had a news post about some new stuff coming to the galactic level and how eras are going to work with new story events and all that sort of stuff, which you can check out through the link in the description if you missed that. But today we're going to talk about something we've been hinting at for a while, but haven't really shown too much off for, which is improvements to ground battles. A big part of what we're doing with that is going to be, of course, things that change how it's balanced, improvements to unit roles and stuff with the units themselves, but we also want to change some of the stuff with the overall mechanics. One of the things is that ground battles, especially on larger maps, feel very unfocused. So we are going to be implementing new victory conditions for ground battles, so rather than hunting down every last ground unit, you'll have a different way to end the battle and stuff that also feels a little bit more narrative. What you're going to see today is an early version of the first one of those. There's going to be more iterations upon that and other options later, but it is the victory point condition. So if you've ever played games like Total War, and we're just going to get into it in a second here, but if you ever played games like Total War, when you're capturing a city, there will be like the town center that you go into, and you can hold that for however long, and then that wins you the battle, rather than having to go around murdering everyone. And it's sort of like that. Ryloth is probably not going to be a map that has it on release. This is just the easiest map to get into from the galactic level that I was testing it on. But we are going to get into it right now. So it'll mostly be a thing on larger maps. There'll be different maps and planets in the mod that have different conditions, victory conditions, and sometimes it'll be different conditions on the same planet. So there'll be a lot of options for that. But when you get into the maps that have that condition, you get the text up at the top. We need to get control of that point to ensure our victory. If we can hold that position for 60 seconds, our reinforcements and orbital forces can handle the rest. And we do want to have some extra visuals applied to it, but you can see it's basically right now using a larger reinforcement point with a highlight on it. So if we can just get up there, and let's bring down some additional units to support us in that. So again, normally this would be, for example, although again this map is not going to have it, it would be like up here, somewhere that you actually have to get to and fight over for this testing. And to show it off just how the mechanic basically works, we are using a much closer one on a smaller map that normally wouldn't have it. And this is going to be just one of many different events and victory conditions, as I was sort of talking about, that'll happen on ground battles and in space battles as well. Space tends to focus itself a lot better than ground, and that's one of the things that holds ground back on the galactic level, is you just spend so long hunting stuff down. And so mechanics that work for a skirmish level or a skirmish map, like going around and killing every single thing, don't work quite as well for Galactic Conquest. And on maps that have it, the AI is basically going to be told this is of paramount importance, you should go to it, and it'll be a more concentrated fight for that. So they'll also be coming over to get it now. The fact that it starts right next to us really helps us out, obviously, but you take 60 seconds of holding it just like any other reinforcement point, and you win. So rather than have like you need to get to this part and this part and this part to take down the base, you'll have a specific part of the map that you need to go to and hold. And again, that's going to be something that's a lot more common on larger maps. I can't remember if Ariadu has it or if it has it in the map preview. If it does, that'll be helpful. But yeah, so this is really the map I was thinking about when I was programming the game type, if you want to call it a game type, which I just did. But yeah, so you have an area like the town square here, and having that be a focus of what you're fighting over on maps like this will really help direct the gameplay a little bit better. So for smaller maps like the Ryloth one, they're usually directed enough there. They've got enough focus in them that we don't need to change the victory conditions too much, although it'll still be a good place to have certain different events within the battle, because setting this up did involve setting up basically an event handler for it, so we can put in whatever we want and have different criteria for it firing or not to make each battle a little bit different. But for those larger maps, we can still have the larger maps and without them feeling as overwhelming. And that'll allow us to work in some other mechanics as well. So even if there was some sort of like onslaught, quote unquote, mode within a Galactic Conquest where you're trying to get to that point, but the enemy is bringing in more and more forces than you normally see in a regular match, but you don't have to worry about killing them all because you have the one clear objective. But that is our first look at what we're doing with ground battles. Again, this is going to be going along with a lot of other mechanical reworks and especially balancing reworks. I've redone I've implemented a bunch of new armor and damage types based on a system that Bob was planning out. So you'll see a lot of that changing. We're changing things like unit movement to make that feel a little bit more fluid. But hopefully this kind of stuff is going to help make ground, instead of feeling like something that stands in the way of the fun parts of the game, make it have its own draws and its own appeals. And that's kind of what we're aiming for with this. Skirmish mode is going to be a good place for getting the whole base assault on base assault, and there will still be some destroy everything maps in the mod. But having each planet sort of feel like it has its own character, and this is something where, like, if you're playing on Kashyyyk, we can implement very different things based around the indigenous forces. So there's a lot of options we have with this, a lot of options we hope to explore and flesh out, just like with the government mechanics, the influence mechanics, and just have 3 equally good modes rather than 2 good ones and one that people just hate. It'll take some time to get there, but that's what we're aiming for. If you have any suggestions for that kind of stuff, you can leave them in the comments or head over to our Discord server where we have discussion channels for that kind of thing. But thanks for watching. Hope you're looking forward to these changes as well as the other stuff we've been talking about lately. And if you would like to vote for us for Mod of the Year, we'd appreciate it. There will be links in the description to that. It's basically a yearly competition on Mod Database, which people can vote for as many mods as they want. We are in the top 100 phase right now. We'd really appreciate your support. But again, hope you're looking forward to the changes. Thanks for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.